Hello, I'm here. I am so sorry for being so late. What was I doing? Posting. Sorry, my brain is dead. How are you guys? Hello, hello. Oh my god, we already have a hydrate, a breathe, and a posture check from Yves and Brosidian. I can do that. I don't have my boba straw. By the way, life hack. I've talked about this before. Getting a boba straw and using that for your fuck me, what do you call it? For drinking water makes it so much easier to drink copious amounts of water. I love it so much. I use boba straws for basically everything now, except for boba. Although, you know, Cheese Prof says hydration is stored in the balls. The boba balls, you mean. Also, we have a subscription. Oh, wait, to breathe. A subscription for Phoenix. I don't have my pen. Oh no. Hold on. There we go. Phoenix, now I can add you to the board. Welcome to the board. Welcome to being the first person on the board. Second only to Andronimo, who showed up second. Phoenix is at 6 months at tier 1 and has been subscribed for 12. Oh my gosh, saying a year already? Well, here's to another. Yes, indeed, just in time for the new year as well. Let me toss this. There we go. Phoenix, and then it's, what are the numbers? 357. It's numbers that always get me, you know? Andronimo, right on their tail. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here, Andronimo, for 17 months, just say that drinking liquid is hard for you. It's okay. I do a great job drinking liquid. How dare you? Chaxter cheered 100 bits. Hello, hello. Saying happy to be here. Hi! And then Kill King Dozer is here as a follower. Welcome in. It's great to see you. Oh my gosh, hello, hello. I'm also going to say hi to everyone over on YouTube. And yeah, we did start a hype train already. Jesus. Let me go live on Instagram as well, because I want to make sure that those guys know that we're up and going and hanging out, just chatting. Update details. There we go. Now I did get a phone case. Check it out. It's green. I also got a phone. What do you call it? The little glass thing, but it's silicone, so that way it won't fall and like concuss the stream as much. H, she also gifted a sub to go see things. Yeah, things. There is an H there. Thank you so much. And Not Quite Novelist is here. Hi, Savannah. How are you? HT goes on the board. Thank you so much for being here, HT. Guys, you know what I remembered right before? Oh, Phoenix says, how cold is it there? How cold is it? I haven't gone outside. Weather. So I've been traveling a fuck ton. Like, I've been gone on a little vacation. Hello, Instagram. A little vacation from basically Thursday. Yeah, it would have been Thursday through last night. 6.5 hours of driving up to Leavenworth. Posted about it on Instagram. Talked a little bit about it, and like mostly the sausages. They were so fucking good over on Instagram. Oh my god, they were good. Holy shit. Hey, Mr. Max Taylor's version, thank you so much for the sub. Oh my gosh, hello, Mr. Max Taylor's version. Lovely to have you. Welcome back. And then. Yeah, so I went up to Leavenworth. Fucking so good. I had 3 of those sausages, dude. The little bratwurst that they have at a place called Munchin House. The line goes around the corner and up the street on weekends. And my god, it's worth the wait. It's amazing. More Night, hi! Saying hello, love your content. Hello, hi to Sarah over on Instagram. Jay over on YouTube says your hair reminds me of Rogue from X-Men. Thank you. I actually dressed up as her for Halloween for the first time. Crazy comfy costume, by the way. Just wearing a one-piece, like, little jumpsuit type thing. So good. Yves says Jenna getting excited over sausages was not on my bingo card. Hey, listen, I'm a bisexual. I've been known to get excited over a sausage or two. Ace, hello. Funomi, Accolade, Fosmo. Great to have you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Lucas says you got the wrong card then. Hello to Barry over on Instagram. And then, let's see, Jack of Hearts is also here saying hello. And HG says, Diana, are you excited for jury duty? Dude, I don't know what I need to, I will genuinely, do I have to pretend to be racist or something? I'll just walk in and be like, man, those Mexicans, am I right? And then just not tell my mom afterwards. Yeah, so I got jury duty for, hey, Lorcasters, hello, saying I love your content. Oh my god, thank you. Yeah, so story is I got jury duty for the week of Christmas and the week after. I've never actually been selected to be on a jury. I've only ever done the thing where I get a phone call that's like, hey, you don't need to come in and then I'm good. Shizzle first, just tell them you're biased. I'm gonna walk in and be like, you guys are ruining my Christmas. I will ruin your judicial system. Pretend I said that right. Clean cut, chat. You ready? I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be like, listen, you fuckers are ruining my Christmas. I'm gonna ruin your judicial system. I don't give a fuck if it goes back to the 1700s. We're tearing this shit apart. And which I know is probably a bad idea. I'm shocked they can't arrest you for that, by the way. Also, Yvette says just provide irrefutable evidence that you'll be biased and pick a side with no context and you'll be voted off. How do I provide irrefutable evidence that I am biased? I don't even know what the case is. I can't prepare anything. Also, Hero Quest Fitness says, oh god, not Christmas in Court, new sitcom. Here's the thing. People have also said that they, oh my god, also Ripper Doc says, hey, I got the Elder Mythos box thanks to you. Dude, that Elder Mythos is a good fucking game. I like it a lot. I was paid to say that. I'm not being paid to say that now. It is cool. It's a really great concept. Oh my god, and then Mr. E the Writer says, answer everything they ask you, starting with according to the prophecy. That's genius. PB and Jelly Roll, welcome in. Also, E. McKenna subscribed with Prime, saying so many rude jokes to be made, but we shall behave. E. McKenna, welcome to the board. And welcome back for your, god, how many months has it been? 10 months! Welcome back for your 10th month of being a subscriber. Also, for whoever asked about the weather, it's 50 degrees out right now. A lot better than it was in Leavenworth. Let's see. Hato says, just say you think you know / know the accused or / witness from somewhere. Just walk in and be like, damn, that guy looks really familiar. But I'll say that to every single person, every NPC that I pass, and inevitably, one of them has to be the victim or the accused or a witness or something. I'll just be like, yeah, I think I went to high school with that guy, and they're gonna be like, that guy's from fucking Virginia. You did not go to high school with him. We have your records. And I'll be like, just a feeling, Your Honor. Let's see. Red says, have you watched the Mighty Nine yet? I haven't. I don't watch other people's actual plays, and I feel like that is kind of extended into the Mighty Nine and Vox Machina, so afraid not. Acid Blue says, have you ever heard of Lancer? I have. A lot of people have recommended it, but it's sci-fi stuff isn't really my forte when it comes to TTRPGs. I do more like dark horror, dark fantasy. Christoph says, tell them you need dice rolls after everything today. Yeah, just fucking pull a d20 out of my pocket, and when they're like, hey, so do you think this guy is guilty or innocent? I'll just be like, 16, so I think he's guilty, Your Honor. And they're like, it's a woman. And I'm like, oh, I think she's guilty, Your Honor. They'll be like, get the fuck out of my courtroom. Hi, Wilson. Hey, and Stick 7364. Lovely to have you. Thank you so much for the subscription. What was that? 7364. Thanks for subscribing on Twitch. It's great to have you with Prime for 2 months. Captain Cream X has also followed. And oh my god, Bubble Bath Pie in the Face is on 90 streams in a row. Jesus, Bubble Bath, hi. Let's see. Something cookie. One big cookie. Hi. That was a really hard use. That username gave me an aneurysm for a second. Hello, hello. And Geronimo wants me to roll a d20 saying, will Diana spell my name right? Did I misspell it? Oh my god, I did. Fuck. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. It's like it never happened. Look, it says perfect use of the d20. Hold on. I'm still gonna roll it. Let's see. Hello to Acid Blue. Says, Blades in the Dark or Kane might be a good fit. I've actually never heard of Kane. Ah, shit. You know, it was an 8. But it's a strong 8. It's a great 8. It's also an 8 that helps me show off my nails. I just did them for the Game Awards. I'm headed to the Game Awards tomorrow, by the way. That was what I was initially going to mention, is that I went straight from Leavenworth. I've been home for a day, and I'm flying out again tomorrow. Over to LA for the Game Awards. I'm just going to be hanging out. I'm a seat filler, so don't ask me if anything important is happening or what I'm going for or if I'm going to be walking a red carpet. There isn't one. I'm not going to be doing that. Jade, hi, says good on you. Guys, everyone say hi to Jade, Too Hard the Bard, the most recent guest on Worlds Apart. Oh my gosh, hold on. Shout out to Hard the Bard. There we go. You'll recognize her TikToks if you know me. Amazing human being, built basically a flying squirrel god for us. It was super fun. It was a great episode. Also the first person on the episode to ever use a soundboard, and in the most hilarious way possible. It's been great. Phil says cheers. Hi, Phil. And then let's see. Oh yeah, Kyanark says best TTRPG for a beginner trying to get into them. I would say any Powered by the Apocalypse games are also a really good idea, and the system itself is really easy. It's 2d6, and it's non-genre specific. So if you just go to Google and to Wikipedia and you find a list of Powered by the Apocalypse games, pick one that suits the kind of vibe you're looking for. There's so many. Jade says a flying squirrel disappointment. No spoilers. But yeah, go check out Worlds Apart. It's out right now. It's premiering right now. And JOX says, I'm looking forward to the Helldivers 2 announcement they're building towards. They dropped new content during the Game Awards last year. Heavily looks like they're going to do it again this year. Hell yeah, because didn't they win an award last year? I swear they must have. Also, Ad Michaels, hi, welcome in. And then I'm tired, just came over to TikTok from Instagram. Hello. Great to have you, great to see you. Hello, everyone. Krayak says you're gonna win any Game Awards. I don't know which one you'd be nominated for, but you could. Given how the Stream Awards fucking went, I'm pretty sure I could go for anything at this rate. So the Stream Awards single-handedly cured my imposter syndrome because that was so fucking awful to watch. Cleaver Kyle says, I'm confused, weren't the Streamer Awards like 2 days ago? That was the Streamer Awards, this is the Game Awards. So video games versus people who can't do crowd work for the fucking life of them. Let's see. Also, Tenora says that the old piece drops tomorrow. Oh, my Tenno in chat, get hype over on YouTube. I actually, God, I haven't played. Is it Destiny? No, it's Warframe. It's the other Destiny. I haven't played Warframe in forever. And Phoenix says, by the way, you were my top streamer this year. Oh my gosh, yeah. Did any of you guys do the, oh my God, what do you call it? The Twitch recap? I should have posted mine. I kept forgetting. Aciblos says Final Girl is good for beginners. Yeah, but it's not. Final Girl isn't so much a TTRPG as it is just a board game-ish. I really want to play it though. Yves says the VTuber award was hilarious. Yeah, and Funomi says I freaking love Warframe. It's been so long. It's just so smooth, the way that game runs. I really like it. The combat is smooth. I just don't like shooters that much is my only thing. But hi, Palpatine's Fist. How's it going? And then, oh my gosh, yeah, Vyro sucks. Hello, has resubbed with Prime. Hi, good to see you. Hold on, I'm gonna actually spell this name right. Vyro sucks. We also had Truth Endures, 1966. Endures, 1966. Great to have you. And then HT bestowed a disadvantage, but we had an 8 on the first roll, so I don't know if that'll go well, but I can try again. Oh, actually, technically we're not supposed to do disadvantages after. Let's see. Okay. It was a 5. It did get worse. Congrats. Andronima says you're my most watched streamer with 119 hours. Oh my God. And also Victor, good to see you. Hello. DBC said I got Cole and Dak in my top 5 because hot damn, did they put in hours this year? Yeah. Dak and Cole are both really trying to, they're like, Dak in particular has gotten so fucking good at streaming so fast. It's like, I'm over here watching and I'm like, oh my God. Someone actually came up to me at TwitchCon this last year and they were like, hey, I found you through Dak's stream because he rated into him so much. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. But yeah, no, he's been doing great. Godspeed says, what's your campaign about? Not currently running one. I'm a player in 2 campaigns right now. I have Chains of Asmodeus on Sundays, which is live streamed, and then a Curse of Strahd game, which is not. And then Red Lobsters V2 says, I'm a lobster. Hello from the Atlantic. Hello, lobster. Mr. Dylan Gray. Oh, Mr. Dylan Gray. Jesus, fuck. I could read. Hello. Truth Endures is also here, and so is Michael93. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And then let's see. PB&J Jelly Roll says, I watch a total of 2 people for a combined 4 hours. You know what? Really keeping Amazon going there. HC says, can you see a recap on mobile for Twitch? I believe so. I think so. Hold on, let me get my recap up. Twitch, show me my stats. Amazon, give me my shit. Come on. Nope, those are all of the drops. That's not what I need. Oh yeah, my Twitch recap, there we go. Because I can save a screenshot of it to show you guys. Yeah, save image as. Sure, just throw it in my fucking downloads, I don't care. So here's what it is. That's my world map, but that's not what I wanted to show you guys. Downloads. Boop, boop. There we go. So this is my recap. You won't be able to see it if you're watching on a mobile platform or on Instagram. I'm so sorry, it's only for Twitch people at the moment, but that's what it looks like. Clever Kale says, how does your community side look? That's a good question. It's 76.1 chats received, 117 total streams. It doesn't have a lot of chat. Oh, like me as a viewer? Oh, that's a good question. 348 hours watched, but that's a lot of like, downtime. And it looks like my most watched channel is Madaloon. HC says, thought 73 total hours with Diana being 70 hours. Oh my God. And then E. McKenna says we have the same most used emote. Oh, 1000%. My favorite streamers. are Maddie, Concho, Laffy Taffy, because I pop into his streams during the day sometimes, because he streams when I'm at work, Sachi, Quincy, and that's it. 12 hours watched for Quincy, and then up to, Jesus fuck, 57 for Maddie, which is the cutest thing. I've made 4 clips. And yeah, nothing too crazy there. I'm really more of a, like, I don't know, just creator side person, I suppose. Funomi says, any plans to play Magic with Zach the Bold? I don't. Zach doesn't come to many cons or anything like that. And I mean, maybe. I feel like as far as people I need to fight in Magic, it's actually Ryan, Run DMG, Johnny. Andy's always going to slide to the top because Andy's amazing. Johnny being, oh my god, Talking EXP. So Run DMG, Talking EXP, Margot Mods Games, and then I need to fight Quincy, fucking, God, Kevin from Dice Cream Sandwich. I was like trying to remember his actual name. There's a lot of people who threaten me in my DMs, let me put it that way. I posted my deck like once or twice before PAX Unplugged, and they were like, fucking bring it. I have slivers, and I was like, no! I didn't actually. I am scared, genuinely. It's not, I don't have any good decks. I'm not good at it. It's not, I play for funsies. I play for the tee-hee-ha-has and for the cool art. So, Cash says, don't you have to fight DB also? DB kicked my ass. And then Silver Scarab 69. Hello. Welcome in. Pandora says, love your hair, it's so pretty, and love the tips you've shared for DMing. Obsidian is also my favorite DM tool. Yeah, thank you. Oh my god, thank you so much. The hair is, it's fresh. I just washed it. It's shiny. It won't last that way, especially because I gotta curl it in 2 days. Vaporox. Hello, hello. And Tamarathon says, what format? We're doing Commander. I am a Commander girly for the most part. It's been fun. Tamarathon here actually gifted me a Cavern of Souls, I believe, if I'm not getting my cards mixed up. So that'll be fucking fun. And Dracobane says, your hair is always so great. Oh my god, thank you. And Exponent says, I use World Anvil. I have heard World Anvil is also a fun one. Palpatine's Fest says, Slivers was the first deck I put on my own back in the aughts. The aughts. I love when people call it the aughts. But yeah, Fat Tony says, MagicCon Vegas, hope to see you there. I have yet to delve into Magic Cons, to be honest. I'm sure I could. I don't think I could get a pass for them or anything because I'm not a Magic the Gathering creator. I fuck around and I do the occasional Magic the Gathering joke, but I'm not good at it, and I'm actually categorically bad at it. So I don't know. Luke says I need to make you some Magic cards today, and I have a pack that's far older than you are that I got at retail. Older than me? Holy shit. But you know I'm gonna open it, right? Like, got it retail in 2025. What the fuck? And Nas just says WotC would give you all the things. I probably could have gotten in last year because they were doing a big push last year for Magic Con. They're like creator badges to get D&D content creators over during the Battle for Baldur's Gate release. Following the Baldur's Gate 3 release. So they did a whole chain of promo that would have made it really easy to get in. Unfortunately, I didn't get in until Gen Con last year. So into the game, that is. And so I'm a little bit late on that one. Maybe some of the time. It's Pandora's. Hi. Berthan is also here. Expone. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Thanks for following. And then Funomi says people that are bad at Magic are the best to watch. Yeah, it's just me putting down little guys for the most part. And just being like, hey, this guy's not a threat. And sure enough, it's not. I'm bad at the game. Nothing I do is a threat. Lucas says, heck yeah, open them. They're not popular sets, so they were $12, but the set is from 1994. Jesus, really? Okay, I was like, you know I'm gonna ruin it, right? Please do not send me collector's items ever. I'm not good at collecting things and keeping them intact. Casey says, Loki, since you told us about Obsidian, it's been my daily driver for work and personal life. It's crazy useful. Awesome call out. Hell yeah. Oh, so glad. And then let's see. Oh my god. And then Orexin also says, I just bought Kingdom Death Monster because of you. It's gonna be a gateway drug. Dude, I have so many. I have piles of gray matter that I need to put together. I keep calling it gray matter because I know that's what they call brain shit. Oh my god, also, HN Abrahams, hi, says, love your content. Oh my god, thank you so much. Hi. This is only a small pile of the pile of shame that I have, the gray pile of unbuilt minis. The larger pile is, hold on. I'll get to them eventually. It's stuff that I used to do just with my hands while I was playing D&D. I need to get back into it. I think right now the problem is that these are, for the most part, just armor sets, so they don't have any real build guides. You can just throw them together. And that's fine by me, but I don't really use the armor sets, so I have no onus to build them. So there are some here that are cool though. Hold on, are any of these safe for work? They're safe for work enough. Here's the Millennium Butcher set pieces. It's the miniatures, the little guys for them. I personally love the level of detail. Look at this book. Look at how cool that book is. It's a fucking teeny book. Have I painted anything? Nah. I haven't even built them. I have not painted them, for sure. Let's see. Oh my god. Oh no. Every time I vacuum, it's a hazard. Kevin says, Diana, I can train you up with my 40 decks of classical concepts. Oh my god. I don't know. I'm untrainable. Also, let's see. Boosted says, every mini builder / painter ever says I'll get to them eventually. Sorry. And then Mac or Mick, hi, says you'd go crazy with buying STLs for WH/D&D. I love staring at STLs, I will say. I'm a really big fan of looking at all the cool shit that people come up with on Instagram, and I can't name any off the top of my head, but there are some really fucked up looking monsters out there that I think would be amazing, and especially because it's not... I love D&D. I love Wizards of the Coast. I hate the concept that Vaporrock says, Diana, you're such a bad bitch for that pile. Dude, I'm a bad bitch for several reasons. That's a shameful pile. That's not a bad bitch pile, trust me. But anyway, I love D&D. I hate the fact that it kind of has to say at least somewhat, how do I put this? Family friendly, which is why I play Cult. And by play, I mean stare at longingly. MW, welcome in. Same with Dynamic Bull Honky. Hi, Aritis is on 3 streams in a row. Taylor's on 7. And Graffiti Rip, thank you so much for the sub. How are you? Oh my gosh, Graffiti Rip, thank you so much for being here. Graffiti Rip, welcome to the board. And then let's see. Hugh says, do you have any advice for DMing for new players in D&D? Yes, one of my, for people who don't play D&D at all and who are new to TTRPGs, I highly recommend getting them a set of dice where every single die looks different and is a different color and you know what the colors are. So like instead of giving everyone like a combined set where it's like all green polyhedral dice, make it so that everyone's D20 is some shade of green. Everyone's D12 is some shade of red, or whatever color you want. D10, some shade of blue, D100, some shade of white, I don't know. Make them all different colors and have a copy of their sets on your side. Then whenever you want to tell them, hey, roll this dice or roll a D12, then you can say, hey, roll a D12. By the way, that's the red one. And then that will help them get used to the shapes of the dice. It takes a long time to get used to that part in particular, and that's one of the easiest ways for someone to almost like feel dumb, and you don't want them to feel dumb. If that helps. Let's see. Casey says collecting STLs is so fun until you have to use the 2 liters of resin you bought and your house becomes an exclusion zone. An exclusion zone is crazy. Matt, hi! Saying we don't talk about TTRPG stacks of shame. Hi to stacks of unplayed TTRPGs. Dude, you know what I put on my Christmas wish list? I put on my Christmas wish list a bunch of shelves. Because my brain, lovely as it is with OCPD, makes it so I can't play a game unless it's away first and clean first, and it can't be away and clean until it's like stored, and it can't be stored because I don't have the fucking storage space for all the games that I have right now. Post PAX Unplugged, my living room is just full of piles of TTRPGs and board games that I haven't played, and probably won't be able to until I get a shelf. Because, I don't know, I can't play it unless it's away first. It has to go into its base. It's like a fucking Roomba going into its little home station and charging before you can use it. That's how it works in my head. Hi, Sweet Tea. With a hydrate. Good to see you, friend. How are you? And a posture check. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. You got me there. Let's see. Diane says, my roommates and I realized we need more shelves recently. More shelves is one of those adult things that you're like, you don't notice them, you know, until you really, really need them and you want to escalate away from the Kallax, you know, the IKEA stuff. Hados says, oh, color coding that would work for the kids' mental health support game I'm running. Nice. Yeah, highly recommend that. You can also do TTRPGs, like any TTRPG is going to be easier, almost any TTRPG is going to be easier than D&D for a new player. So it's also an option to not play D&D. Oh yeah, Matt says exactly that. Sets of educational polyhedral dice come colored by number of sides already, so when you're teaching children, you can tell them to roll the red one. So, buy dice from educational supply sites. I love that. Also, Cannibal Fruit says, I don't play Warhammer, I just like to paint them. So I need shelves for them to display, so I feel like I didn't waste money. Dude, nice miniature display shelves are so hard to come by, and usually you have to like jerry-rig them yourself using strip lights and glass cases from IKEA, which I'm fine with, but I don't want them on the floor. You know, I want my minis to be out of eye line, but so that I can like point up to them, if that makes sense. Because if they're at eye line or below, it makes me feel like an old woman with tchotchkes just kind of like hanging out in her living room. I had an ex's mother one time who collected this is such a specific collection, by the way. She collected specifically syrup pourers from different restaurants. They weren't fancy or anything like that. She was just like, oh yeah, I just like them. And they were in cabinets all over the fucking place. And I was like, I'm sure it's great to her, but it didn't interest me. So I looked at it and I was like, what the fuck is all this junk doing here? And I'm afraid that's what someone else is gonna look at my miniature set up and, you know, think in their head is like, this is just junk. Why are all these things here? Why are all these teeny little plastic dolls here? And so I kind of want them like at least a little bit higher, you know? Pandora's, thank you so much for the sub. Good to see you. Hello. It's Pandora. This pen is getting so much easier to write with, by the way. And Reaper is here saying the Reaper is landed. Welcome back for your 4th month, Reaper. Hello, hello. Reaper at Overwatch. There we are, lovely to have you. Deuce Cummington says, let's get this woman a shelf. The problem is I use IKEA shelves and we don't have an IKEA anywhere fucking near me and the shipping is really expensive, so it's always like a Christmas thing. Matt says, oh my gosh, from nature displays, raid retail stores that are closing that have displays. That's what I did when I painted minis. But all the retail stores that close around here are salons because we have too many salons or restaurants. I guess salons could work, but salons have like a really white aesthetic that doesn't work with my apartment. I'll keep an eye out for some place with like dark furniture that's closing down. I'll just prey on their downfall, on a local small business's downfall so I can loot their corpse. Let's see. Hey Ryan over on YouTube, and then let's see. Eva kind of says if they care. Oh, then they aren't meant to be your friend. Oh, if someone like sees my minis and is like, it's weird. There are no nerds in Bend. I don't have nerd friends that come over. It's all just normal people. Or people who go surfing, which I don't consider normal people, by the way. Nasser says, maybe look for a closing garden center, then you can keep with the dead plant. Fuck you. Keep with the dead plant vibe. I so confidently went into that sentence thinking that it was actually gonna be a good idea. That actually got me. That was good. That snuck up on me. Well done. Cannibal Fruit says a lot of places rent their shelves and just send them back when they close. Oh, okay. I getcha. It's Pandora's also says, I literally have Laura Bailey's dice bag of hoarding and a separate bag for D20s. It's crazy how many more D20s you get. I'm gonna have to need a second dice bag of holding because I have the same one. Is it the one with pockets on the inside? Because I have one that is, it's, let me show you guys actually. It's here. Hold on. Aha! So, a lot of these dice are not supposed to be in here, by the way. This is not, I don't take care of my dice nearly as well as I should, except for the really fancy artisan ones, but it's a giant dice bag. It's heavy as fuck, by the way, and it's got pockets. You can see the dividers on the inside. They're all mixed up right now because I got lazy when I was rifling through and then just kind of mixed them all together. But it has a bunch of really cool ones. This one I got from, I can tell you where I got all of these dice too. And that's what I'm honestly proud of. I don't care about the fact that it's a collection. I care about the fact that I know where they all came from. I got these from Dispel through a collaboration with the Storyteller Squad recently for a show that I was on that hasn't aired yet, but it will soon. This one is my Wisdom Tooth die. It has a actual wisdom tooth in it made by Whitney of Smoking Glue Guns. I requested specifically red, glitter, and then a gold D20 side, so that way, yeah, there you go. There's her little logo. Victor says, I returned, was walking home. What did I miss? We're going over dice. Talking about various dice. One of you guys gifted this to me. It's like a rose stained glass set, also from Dispel. Cannibal Fruit says lethal weapon right there. Oh my god, these are really fun. So I got these from the same folks who talked about, they do, oh my god, what do you call it? Historica Arcanum, which is essentially a set of D&D 5e supplements that's all about historic ages, things like the Silk Road and whatnot. And sorry, Instagram, I just realized I wasn't showing you any of these. Hold on, do you guys want to see my tooth dice? Here, hold on. This is the one that I got from the Storyteller Squad. This one of you guys sent me. It's stained glass with roses. This has my wisdom tooth in it. one of them. I got 2 made, so I can roll with advantage and disadvantage. And then there's the gold side. And then this one I got from the people who make Historic Arcanum, because they're meant to look like they have blood on the inside, which is super cool. Pandora says I keep buying fancy pretty dice and I'm obsessed, but it's such an expensive hobby. Yeah, it's fun. Honestly, you kind of just, there's a trajectory, I feel like, where people just kind of give you dice over time. Also, hi, Galaxy Fox. Hello, hello. Good to see you. And Wiki says, show us the ones made out of teeth. Yeah. Someone also said, are those real wisdom teeth? Yes, these are legitimately my real wisdom teeth. Hold on. Camera, focus. There you go. Sort of. There we are. These are my actual teeth. I had to have them removed a little while ago for... I don't fucking know why. They didn't hurt or anything. They were just like getting cavities slowly, and my dentist was like, look, at a certain point, if you're not gonna take care of them, we should just take them out and it'll be easier on everyone. Michael says, that's too true. I get gifted dice for every birthday. Yeah. Yep. Once people realize you like them, you know. Also, Notster says Dinah's just flexing the nails, because why not? Yeah, they're not too bad. They're a little fucked up already, I will say. Come on, camera. Don't embarrass me, camera. They're getting a little fucked up already. I just did them earlier this morning. These ones are nicer, though, because I can use my right hand. Akoto, hello, hello. DBC said removed solely to be put into dice. And Timberall says, mine are coming in sideways, so I gotta get them pulled out. Ask if you can keep them. Dude, they'll let you. It's great. They might ask why, and you can say whatever you want to. Sometimes they'll say no if you say something really weird, but like in general, I told them, or the person who was driving me home, because I was fucking out of it, asked if I could have the dice, and then the dentist was like, why? And then the person driving me home was like, she wants to put them into dice. And then the dentist was like, okay, like, I guess she can have them. And I was just like high out of my fucking mind on the table, like, so happy about it. DBCU said, say it's for religious reasons and they'll hand them over. Oh, and my Ultra says, who do you think is gonna win Game of the Year? Probably Expedition 33. I'd be disappointed if it, I'm also just, I don't remember the categories by heart yet. I'd be surprised if it wasn't them. And Reaper says, wait, I'm subscribed? I didn't even know I was subscribed in the first place. Instagram, Twitch just knows what's best, and Diana's definitely in that list of best streamers. Aw, you guys are way too sweet. But yeah, hello, Instagram. Mr. Thompson says, I bartered my tooth at an event in September. You just gave your tooth away to work. What if someone casts a spell on you with it? What if someone uses it as, like, I don't know, biological leverage or some shit? That would be wild. I wouldn't want to give my tooth to some random person. But also, hello, Wallace. And then Daryl says, I want to make my tooth into a weapon to bite my enemies. Yeah, it does a d20 of damage. Matt says, I can't risk someone putting them in a doll and trying some shit. Best answer. Exactly! Breathe says, new phone, who dis? Hi, Breathe Electric, welcome in. Casey Broj has also subscribed. Hi, and has followed. Hi, Casey. Good to see you. Lovely to have you. Victor says, I forget the US does full anesthesia for wisdom. Oh, they don't. Oh, they don't. I just had to pay extra for it because I did not want to be awake for that. For me, it was local anesthesia when I had all 4 removed. Ooh, yeah. So normally they don't do, they do local anesthesia covered by insurance. If you want to be in a twilight like level of consciousness, they do that, but it's an extra like $700 out of insurance. So you just kind of have to pay that out of pocket. But no, you can also opt to not have any anesthesia at all, and then it's fully free. I think some anesthesia, like the same amount that you get when you get, cavities filled in. I think that's still like $100 or $200, and then it's like $700 for full anesthesia. So, Mr. T, hello, hello. Good to see you. And Breathe Electric says, I too opted to be fully knocked out for getting mine removed. Yeah, I recommend. I just was there. I didn't know really what was happening. I can remember it, but I didn't feel pain or anything. It was just like tugging and all that. Vlog says, you've got favorite dice, of course, but are there any in your collection that are genuinely cursed? Like they never leave the dice jail? I don't think so, because I don't really roll any one die enough for it to be potentially deadly, if that makes sense. I kind of like all of them. I am coming up with a script for a skit that's like talking about different types of dice jail. Like there's the dice jail. We now have the dice cuck chair. Dice rehab could be a thing. Dice reality TV. I don't know. I'll come up with something. And then Andronima says, my mom was a dental hygienist and she told me way too much, so I would for sure know what was happening. No thanks. Oh, God. Jay Shap, welcome in. Vaden Shadows also sub with Prime. Great to see you. Another K9 has followed. Hi, Vaden. Welcome to the board. Lovely to have you. I also need, there we go, a divider. And Klepto is here. Hello, hello. Dan says you have the biggest link tree I've ever seen. Yeah, it's because I keep it as like a permanent repository of all the stuff I've endorsed and been on in the past. It's almost like a resume at this point. And so that way people can always find things that I've endorsed in the past. I don't think I've ever taken something down, but that's mostly just a show of the fact that I genuinely do endorse products that are like paid promotions on my channel. It's usually paid promotions just for funsies. Barry also asked about Draw Steel. I actually know nothing about Draw Steel, unfortunately, but that's, oh, fuck me. Who did that? Was it Matt Colvo who did it? That's about all I know. I know Andy from Marco Mods Games has created a 5e or a third-party supplement for it, or is working on something like that. I haven't gone into it too much though. I'm afraid I have no advice, or I don't really even know. Is it a D20 system? I don't know anything on that front. Victor says I didn't get any choice of the type of anesthesia. The only option was local anesthesia, and it was lovely to hear everything. Oh, I mean, on the bright side, if you have local anesthesia, you can watch TV. If you have the TVs on the ceilings, that's fun. She says the same people who did Right Iron. Oh my god. Let's see. Phil Kearney says, when I was 10, I did a science fair display about tooth rot. A local dentist gave me 200 teeth to use. What? Doesn't that break HIPAA? Or some shit? I don't think your dentist can just give you other people's teeth, can they? Galaxy Fox says healthcare inexpensive. Healthcare in the US, fuck me, is expensive. It's free in the Netherlands. Anesthesia is like 20 bucks. Oh, that's great. And also Chainmail Cowboy says, fully knocked out for mine. Somehow insurance covered it. Damn, that must be good insurance. Holy shit, your insurance actually gives a fuck? That's crazy. Myodra says that dentist was the tooth fairy in disguise. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Instagram comments are so hard to see. Diane says, hello, sir. Can I have 200 random teeth? Sure, kid. And then Barry says, Draw Steel's more like a D10 system. I kind of like that. We don't have very many D10 systems or D12 systems. I guess, like, we're slowly getting some for every type of die except for a D4 out there, you know? And even then, the polyhedral or the polymorph system from 9th level kind of does a D4. So it's pretty cool. Hey, Sparrow! Having been subscribed for 9 months. How's it going, Sparrow? Good to see you. Hello, hello. Sparrow. Welcome in. And then Lucas says, I love that some of the oldest dice on the planet are made from bone. Yeah. Oh, it's cool shit. And Myodra says, a D10 pool system is so hard to balance, trust me. Is it? Oh, shit. Okay. Let's see. Deuce Covington says science. Yeah. And then Galaxy Fox Night Sky says, Matt Kovo made Draw Steel. It's pretty close to 5E. Or, sorry, 4E. And also 2D10, never miss game. Gotcha. And Galaxy Fox also says, have you played Daggerheart? I have. A couple times. I did an off-screen one-shot to learn the game a little bit using their pre-made free module on Demiplane. And that was GM'd by, oh my god, who was the GM for it? I can't remember. Oh, it was Sean Banerjee. They were amazing. It was fantastic. And it was just fun. And then I played for charity over on the Roleplay Relay channel, which was awesome. We raised like, God, 12 grand or something like that, 13 grand before the first day ended. Mind you, they had done fundraising before I even got on camera. And they were being matched 5K by Darrington Press. They're doing some really cool stuff coming up that you should absolutely go check out their channel for. All the announcements are on Instagram. Crescent Moon, hi, hello. How come you still don't have VIP? Can someone remind me to give Crescent Moon Alchemy Code VIP? I know I've said that in the past. I think I just forgot to. Whoopsies. And Funomi says, Call of Cthulhu and Delta Green are my favorite systems. I have yet to really do anything with Delta Green. It gives me the exact same vibe as Triangle Agency. Like, in my head, Delta Green and the Triangle Agency game are the same thing. But I know that they're both, like, Lovecraftian type things. So, ooh. It's spooky, though. Hello? Publications. Oh shit, they have quick start rules. Okay. Well, you can get the role-playing game. What is it about, though? What the fuck is a murder board? Holy shit. I don't know what this is. I'm just excited for it. Oh, it's like a cork board. Gotcha. So it's like digital assets that you can create like corkboard style things with. That's actually pretty cool. I'm kind of here for that. Matt says Delta Green is about a secret government organization investigating the Cthulhu mythos within the US government. Also says there's ridiculously few laws about owning human bones and teeth. Fun fact, most skeletons hanging in classrooms are Indian or Chinese. They were the top exporters of human remains until rather recently. Oh, wild. I didn't even know that was like a viable export. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, JX says Delta Green is just call it Cthulhu, but it's your job, so the party doesn't go. This is too crazy for us. Let's move to another town. So that, if you guys were to, let me pose a question to you TTRPG people out there, you on Instagram as well. If you guys were to take the SCP lore and mythos and drop it into a TTRPG, which system would you use? Because Matt says Delta Green is Cthulhu versus the X-Files. See, I hadn't thought of Delta Green previously because I didn't know it was organization-based like that. My initial instinct was the one from Monty Cook, just kind of converting the system that they use for, what's the podcast called? Kids on Bikes is also pretty, really? Does that have a supernatural element to it? I always assumed that it was just kind of like, what do you call it? Stranger Things. It's a collaborative world-building RPG set in small towns with big mysteries. So less mystery, more horror is kind of what I'm thinking. In my head, at least. Also, Breathe Electric says which system kills players the fastest? Probably Call of Cthulhu, actually. And Funomi says Delta Green, I would say. Gotcha. And then Kleptoferret says, you know what I want? A Stargate TTRPG. I'm sure there's something similar. I'm almost guaranteeing I would have heard about it if I was more into the sci-fi side of things. Galaxy Fox says I'd use Mothership. Mothership's not a bad one. The Mothership TTRPG, if you haven't heard of it, this is it. It's essentially a game it's exactly what we were just talking about, right? It's horror in space. Kleptoferret says, wait, there was a Stargate TTRPG? It's out of print now? Oh, shit! Oh, cool! Also, Casey Bro says, I want to shout out the +1 system from Never Going Home. It's pretty basic, based on a D6 success roll and a deck of playing cards. Not a very crunchy system, and super based around storytelling in a World War I Eldritch setting. I'm a huge fan. I love Eldritch settings when they're, like, older. Oh my god, Cohorts Cthulhu coming out from Modifius is really solid. Like, I kind of want to try it. And Matt Stormcrow says you can get the PDF for free still. Oh shit, really? Oh, hell yeah. Myodra says, have you ever heard of Cartograph? I do. I actually have the special edition of Cartograph. Let me show you guys. So this is a game that you can use to create a, it's by Raven's Ridge. You can use it to create a map, essentially, by using all sorts of, it's almost like a solo journaling TTRPG. You use dice, you draw out a map. You can use multiplayer, as it says, but you have all these like prompts that you use to come up with the lore of this world as you're exploring it. It's really well done, and it's something that you can use to then create a map that you can use for other TTRPGs. So, Raven's Ridge is an amazing Aussie brand, says Myodra. Yeah, I saw them at PAX Aus, and it was a lot of fun. Let's see. Sasquatch says, I played the Stargate TTRPG back in the 90s. Ooh, I wonder what happened to it. I wonder why it's out of print. And then also Hada says, I really want to try Mothership after I saw Hannah do an actual play. Hannah's great. Hannah's a fantastic GM. She makes everything look good. Backwoods DM says, advice for running the Underdark for the first time. Make sure that the lighting is realistic. And remember that dark... This is going to suck. Remember that dark vision means that you still see and do everything with disadvantage. I'm a rules lawyer type GM, so I'm a stickler for that sort of shit. The other thing to mention is try and make it feel like a true underworld... Like put as much thought into it as you would the overworld. Okay, don't just make it a bunch of travel from one cave to another. Don't make it like random encounters the entire way. You wouldn't do that for the overworlds. So you really shouldn't be doing it for the Underdark. You can time skip all you want to, because realistically there are really large stretches of time in between, you know, locations, but like you should still fill it with something. There should be habitats. There should be unusual creatures, unusual fucking mushrooms. You should see the fauna has adapted to low light and, you know, potentially high pressure settings. I don't know, fun stuff like that. Let's see. Zaharsi, I don't know how to spell that, pronounce that, says, I played D&D, a D20 system, and World of Darkness, which is a D10 system. I like both, but D20 is more like a number-crunching power fantasy, where D10 feels more story-driven and pass-fail. It's more casual. I like that. And someone said that a D10 is hard to balance. I trust that. I'm not a math girly. but I still think that everything has its place in the same way that like a playing card system and a solo journaling game has its place. I'm gonna do a video down the road, not anytime soon, but in the next couple months, talking about different like solo journaling TTRPGs that you guys can play. If you have any recommendations besides 1000-Year-Old Vampire and stuff from Banana Chan, only because that's on my list already, and Cartograph because that's on my list already, new stuff that you think I should check out, please let me know. I want to talk more about that sort of stuff, especially in a post-COVID world, you know? Galaxy Fox says, make a puzzle with colored gems, knowing dark vision makes you see things in black and white, and then rub your hands like a villain. That's actually really fucking funny. Also, Klepto Ferret says, also, deep gnomes can speak with the living rock. Yeah, so I would try and take a look at what your player characters can do in the Underdark. And I mean their abilities, like their vision, their ability to navigate, not seeing the sun. If someone has that one feat that makes it so they always know what time of day it is, make sure that comes into play. Try and take a look at what your party members haven't yet used from their character sheet and give them an opportunity to use it. Because the Underdark has a lot of opportunities for things that they wouldn't normally invest their spell slots in, you know? Saltiris is also asking about Draw Steel over on YouTube. I really haven't. Why is everyone asking about Draw? Did something happen in the Draw Steel community? Draw Steel, MCDM shop. Yay. Oh, this is a fucking sick aesthetic, I'll say that much. I truly know nothing about it. Home. Oh, there's not much content yet. I think if I had seen it in... I think I need to see it at a convention before I talk about it. Because I feel like I have so much more loathing when it comes to like buying things online versus buying it at a convention, because at a convention, then all my receipts are in one place. So I think if I saw him do... Oh yeah, Draw Steel at conventions. If I saw it at a booth, I might be more inclined to buy it, just for the sake of the fact that I try and buy things that everyone recommends that I should take a look at, because then it's a business expense. Darth says, quick, everyone ask about Draw Steel. Oh man. Let's see. Raz the Beard. This is a fun end of year session. Last night my DM sent us a green troll in the mountains, or sent us after a green troll in the mountains, and it had been sneaking into the nearby town and stealing stuff. It literally, oh my god, you fought the Grinch? That's fucking hilarious. How long did it take you to figure out that you were fighting the Grinch specifically? Also, Mo, here is your hydrate, because I forgot to do that. Oh, Saltera says it just launched a new backer kit campaign to expand its offerings. Oh, that would explain it. Draw Steel backer kit. Okay, here we go. That would explain a lot more. Draw Steel, crack the sun. Is it going? It is going. Oh yeah, it is brand new, huh? Man, okay. Fucking hell, Matt. $1 million was the goal. That is crazy. But damn, good for you. Fucking making it after, what, 4 days? That's insane. That's fucking cool. Wingblade, thank you so much for the sub. Great to have you. Thictor also wants me to do a posture check. Tracy Dragon Tamer, Cyborg, and Daradian. Hi, good to see you. Same with Scotch Lad, and Lexicon, and V-Leash. Great to have you guys. Thanks for following. But Wingblade, thanks for being a subscriber. Good to have you. Blade 33. Here we are. Myodra says, crack the sun. It's a guess. And Crescent says, we hope your night is going well. Just want to pop in and wish you all happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. I saw all of the like restocking and whatnot. If I'm thinking of the right shop account that you guys are doing, it looks so fun. If you guys don't know, Chris and Moon Alchemy Code are the people behind my backpack. The convention backpack that I wear all the time. It's my favorite. Every time I see one in the wild, I'm like, you know what's up. Let's see. Matt says, Void 1680 is a solo RPG game where you play with Spotify or anywhere else you can create a playlist, and you roleplay as a lonely DJ late at night, taking calls from residents. Oh. Void 1680. I think I've seen this before. I have seen this before. Void 1680 AM, a solo playlist building game. I've seen this at I'm pretty sure it would have been the Indie Press Revolution booth. It's a very pretty game. I remember the Ennies. Crit Awards nominee, hell yeah. So you create a playlist. I feel like this would be amazing to, oh my god, to play, hold on. Do you guys remember this? This was the stream that I did while I got my partnership over on Twitch. The Darkness, the Brink of Ohio. Oops, hold on. Maybe if I go to, where's their Kickstarter page? There we go. The Darkness at the Brink of Ohio is like an eldritch horror type game that has to do with you listening to something and solo journaling as you listen to basically a radio station, but it gets more and more horrifying as time goes on. And you can play several different characters, so there's replayability there. So I think taking that and then progressing through the game and finishing the game and then going straight into Void 1680 would be a fucking great idea. Also, Matt says it'd be great vibe and great to stream if you can get around copyright. I've been saying that more people need to stream solo journaling TTRPGs. I think that'd be fun. Especially when I did it, right? It was one of my earlier streams to break 100 viewers, and that was almost 2 years ago. And so I feel like there's a lot of market for it, both on the, like the companies would sponsor you for doing it, of course. But also, like, people just want to be there with you and help you fill out the journal. I like to crowdsource my responses to the prompts, you know, so it'd be fun to like be like, hey chat, what do we think would happen here? When I was doing the Darkness at the Brink of Ohio, you guys were all saying like, oh, this is how I'd answer this prompt. And you guys were also getting into character, and that was so much fun. And so then I kind of integrated that into the answers, and then we all saw what happened. Love for Mosh, hi, says, yo, been following your Insta for a while, great stuff. Thank you so much, thanks for following. Same with Crypt Aries, good to see you. Matt says it's, oh wait, no, hold on, I read that already. HG says View Scream is a fun one for a video chat. Really? Wait, hold on. View Scream. It's on second edition by Neoplastic Press. Let's see. A live-action role-playing game designed for online play via video chat or audio chat software like Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts, Roll20, or Discord. Goodness. It has a 40-page rulebook, 35 adventures in PDF form, and an editable template for creating your own adventures. 3 to 5 players assume the roles of desperate people trapped in a world of high-tech horror. Crew members going insane aboard a damaged starship, scientists in research labs hunted by their own creations, or futuristic data thieves on the run from soulless security drones. This sounds very Black Mirror. Ooh. Okay. And it's only $10. Damn. All right. So it's meant for a lot of, like, space futuristic stuff. I see. And then it's got 25 translucent PNG overlays that come with. Oh, that's super cool. Also, Jackman says, oh, I just remembered my friend is getting to avoid surgery at the moment, instead working with a physical therapist and is slowly regaining mobility in her hand. Hell yeah. What did she have? Did she know? Also, Dragman says, oh, I just remembered my friend is getting to... Oh, wait, no, I read that. Robert Table says, chat-driven character development sounds fun. Exactly, right? And especially having everyone kind of... You guys had some better answers than I would have ever had. You know, Galaxy Fox says, why are there so many horror TTRPGs? I just know a lot about them because I'm a really big fan of horror. I've been getting back into reading lately, and I've been reading a lot of, like, horror books. So I've been rereading World War Z. I love post-apocalyptic and dystopian type stuff. I read The Long Walk in one sitting. I started reading I Am Legend last night. There's so many horror books that are way better as books than movies, let me tell you. Casey says, this is the first time I'm hearing about a solo journal TTRPG. How does it play? Is it just a creative writing exercise? Sort of. So Matt says, The Librarian's Apprentice is a solo RPG about a wizard's apprentice exploring an endless magical library that exists between worlds. The presentation's amazing, and you even get a library card. That's kind of cute. Also, Stays Hungry says, have you handled character death at the table? Oh, I'll get to that in a sec. I will say, using The Librarian's Apprentice as an example, oh, this is cool, the little brochure style stuff. It is quite literally like you go through with a journal, and you answer essentially prompts, but you answer them as your character. You you come up with a person per the rules of the game, like you would in D&D. It tells you like what, role you have and so on and so forth. Your name, your pronouns, all that sort of stuff. Matt says your character creation's on the bookmarks. Yeah. You can allocate skill points as you need to, and then it's almost like a choose your own adventure. Sometimes it'll have you roll dice to determine what's happening. So it's like a TTRPG, but DM-less, essentially. I find that the circle of DM-less TTRPGs versus solo journaling TTRPGs is 90% like a Venn diagram of overlap. And there's very few that wouldn't count as either one. I think all solo journaling TTRPGs are, by nature, GM-less TTRPGs, and I feel like the term GM-less TTRPG doesn't really distinguish anything by itself, if that makes sense. Like, it's a circle square... No, how do I put this? It's a circle rectangle... Not a circle rectangle, a square rectangle situation, right? Where all solo journaling TTRPGs are GM-less, but not all GM-less TTRPGs are solo journaling TTRPGs. There we go. I made it. I got there eventually. Let's see. Uncreative says, I mean, a lot of horror movies are so dependent on music and audio. Yeah, that's true. And you can't do inner monologues very easily in a lot of the horror books that I see. Like the entirety of the first couple chapters of, I mean, I Am Legend, right? The problem with it as a post-apocalyptic story is that he has no one to fucking talk to except for the vampires. You know? Robert says all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. Exactly. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Deuce Covington says Long Walk was great. I still gotta catch the movie. Gotta love Mar. Mar? Oh, dude, talking about The Long Walk. I kind of want to watch it, but I also know they stripped it pretty, like there's a lot of characters in the book that just don't exist in the movie. And a lot of like really important moments that don't exist in the movie, which I get, it's a movie, logistically, there's gonna be some issues, but I don't know. I'm going into it skeptical. Ripperdoc says I picked that game up at a local game store the other day, along with Void. Hell yeah! Oh yeah, Mark Hamill. That's it. Mark Hamill. I get what you mean. Also, Matt says Dead Letter Society is a letter writing TTRPG that can be either 1 or 2 players, where you play vampires writing letters to each other while sharing clues to uncovering mysteries. I read about that. Dead Letter Society. I've heard about this. It's a really fucking well-presented book from what I've seen. It's interesting, you know? It doesn't look like it's just someone's Google Doc that they've pasted into a book. It's really cool. I also got Black Sabbath? No, Last Sabbath. Black Sabbath is something else. Last Sabbath recently, which is like a game that is solo, but you can also play with like a coven of other people. And it's also like a solo game that uses... You could use tarot cards, but it uses all sorts of forms of actual divination. So you can use tarot cards, but you can just as easily use a deck of 52 cards, or you can use tea leaves, where you straight up like read tea leaves at the bottom of a cup to determine what happens in the game. There's a lot of really cool solo TTRPGs out there, is what I'm trying to say, essentially. Uncreative says, I think that when books or games or anything gets adapted into TV shows or movies, they can't just follow the same story. I think they need to adapt the shows to add to the story. Shows, yes. Movies? I feel like there need to be a lot more movies out there that are unafraid to just stick to the script. Not everything needs to have a crazy twist ending. It worked really well for The Mist. I'll give it that. Did not work well for Sandcastles. I feel like Sandcastles, sorry, Old. For those who don't know. Old is that one, there we go. It's that one movie by M. Night Shyamalan, and it was adapted from a graphic novel called Sandcastle. And Sandcastle was really good, but it has a way different ending than Old did. And I feel like the Old ending was just kind of unnecessary. And it was unnecessarily different. But of course it's M. Night fucking Shyamalan and he has to do like something else different. But I feel like a lot more movies should just stick to the script. You know, like if they made World War Z, I just reread that recently. If they made it according to the book, it would have been a fucking amazing movie. It was a good movie, but it wasn't nearly as good as the fucking book. Holy shit, the book was amazing. It was so good. Also, Uncreative says, movies are very dependent on the OG things, especially due to runtime. Yeah. Oh, hey, Matt says, during COVID, they started writing letter LARPs, where dozens of players would write letters to each other in character. There was a Regency one and a Game of Thrones style one. People went as far as learning calligraphy and sending actual physical wax seal letters to each other. Dude, can you imagine how much more willing kids would be to get back into things like pen pals if you gave them like some fancy custom stamps, like quills? They learned how to use proper quills and ink, and they learned calligraphy. Dude, I would go into school learning cursive. I would be so much more down to learn cursive in the year of our Lord 2026 again if we did that as part of a pen pal program, as part of a LARP. How fucking great. That is a fantastic idea. They should be doing that in schools. Oh my god, that'd be way better. Oh. Anyway, Matt says World War Z should have been a mockumentary. It should have. Wait, a mockumentary? Dude, if they do a What We Do in the Shadows style mockumentary miniseries about just the werewolves or just the zombies, I'd be so down. I see what you mean though. Like a mock documentary that's not... Yes, I keep forgetting that not all mockumentaries are comedies. But yeah, 100%, they should have. Like, you can visualize every single shot in the book as a movie. It'd be so easy. And do recreations of everything. It'd be fucking... The script is there. It's so good. And it's already written as if you were watching it on TV. I don't know. It's just perfect for that. And they fucked it up with the movie. JX says, Brad Pitt zombie movie was a pretty decent action film, but it was an absolute travesty they called it World War Z for how little it had to do with the source material. Yeah, exactly. Good God. Also, Darth says, I remember M. Night Shyamalan spoke at my college orientation. He mentioned in his speech that some people say I should have stopped making movies after Signs, and the crowd groaned. How many more movies has he made? Because I feel like there were some decent ones after Signs. Weren't there? TV. Well, yeah, filmography. Okay. He did Signs, then he did A Village, Lady in the Water. To be fair, Lady in the Water was such a fucking self-dick suck of a movie, from what I read, that it's probably, he shouldn't have done that one. The Village, great twist at the end. The Happening, shit movie, but I don't think that was his fault. Last Airbender, definitely his fault. After Earth. The Visit. I thought that one was okay as a concept, but it could have been a lot better. But like Split, Glass, and Old were great. That was a great trilogy. Or sorry, Split and Glass. Not, where was it? Unbreakable. Like the Unbreakable, Split, and Glass trilogy, fantastic. Old, Knock at the Cabin. Also based on a book, so I'm willing to bet anything the book is better. Haven't seen Trap. Haven't even heard of it, which is probably not a good sign. And Remain. I've never even heard of. Oh god, a supernatural romantic thriller? Ew. Okay. Matt says, yeah, I'm thinking the mockumentary in the same vein as War of the Worlds, fake documentary. Gotcha. Or like District 9. Wasn't that a mockumentary? Or am I thinking of something else? I don't know. Robert Table says The Village was great, The Happening was pushing it. Yeah, I think The Happening is a great premise until it was like, oh, it's the wind, and it just like miraculously stopped at the eastern seaboard. Oh man. And like, I feel like they could have wrapped that up a little bit better, but the concept of a mass suicide, like almost strain going around is really solid. It's like the same as Bird Box, you know? Also, Captain Kaibub says, I'm convinced that your hair is magic, and if someone touches a lock on the first day of summer and makes a wish, it'll come true. Or possibly burn their fingers. That's actually me burning their fingers. Yeah. I'll scratch. But Darth Will says the LARP I play in has an in-character Discord server, which is super fun in between games. Dude, I need to make a video about that because I keep forgetting. That's one of my favorite things to do as a GM is to make sure that there's a separate Discord server entirely for it. It should always have a separate Discord server, not mixed in with your normal stuff. But also B, having an in-character roleplay that you could do in downtime, especially when you're running West Marches style games, like little things that you can do to, you know, work on your skills or chat with each other or collect resources. As long as, you know, it's visible to the DM at all times. I love that sort of shit. I honestly miss that more than I miss actual, like, live in-person DMing, is I miss the character correspondence outside of games, you know? Truth Endures says maybe creepy, but still magical. And Michael Hager says Pen Paladins, the game of nightly correspondence. There you go. Jayhawk says Trap was almost really good. It just didn't do anything with the story, like packing a firework and then forgetting to light it when you're done. Dude, movies with twists. I know that M. Night Shyamalan is like so known for twists that it's basically a joke at this point and everyone waits for it to come. But like, I feel like there's a lot of, like The Mist was, top tier. Spoilers for The Mist, by the way. It came out in 2007 though, so this is your only warning. But The Mist, I talked about this briefly. We talked about this before for sure. It was a book first by Stephen King, and then it got adapted into a movie by Frank Darabont. Now, the movie version and the book version are very similar, except for the very end. The way it goes is that a mysterious mist surrounds a little town in Maine, which, of course, it's in fucking Maine, isn't it? Yeah, Bridgeton, Maine. Small town, you know? Fucking people have boats, people have little carpentry stores, and people have shopping centers, and everyone kind of knows each other, right? A boy and his father go out to a grocery store. And as the mist begins to creep in and get denser and denser, they go shopping, as one does. Matt says short story, not book, I think. Oh, yeah, what am I thinking? I'm thinking of, The Dome? No. Was it The Dome? What's the one where straight up a dome just, like, surrounds a town? I can't remember. Akoto says The Mist is fucking amazing. Yeah, it's really good. Desktop Nerd says I saw you at Leavenworth. Really? Oh my god, wait, really? What was I doing? I did have someone in Leavenworth come up to me and they were like, you look really familiar. And I was like, they were like, have you been here to this? It was the coaster. Have you been to the adventure coaster before? They were like, you seem like you've been here before. And I was like, no. But I don't know. Under the Dome. That was it. Yes. Thank you. It was a novel. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I get The Mist and Under the Dome fucking mixed up all the fucking time. Because Under the Dome was turned into a TV show, but The Mist was turned into a movie. I think. I don't think it was turned into just a, like a movie. Descent Nerd says walking around didn't want to bother you though. Oh, you wouldn't bother me at all. I love it when people say hi. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you spotted me in the wild. That's the most in the wild anyone's ever spotted me. Holy shit. Also, Roly Poly says, I think your stream on TikTok crashed. Oh no. Hold on. Let me get it back up and going. There we are. Anyway, Maine. Horrifying place to begin with, but then this mist rolls in and a bunch of tentacled creatures, flying creatures, almost like sturges. They remind me of sturges from D&D. And they start coming in. People in the store have to, like, basically barricade the place. They go in, they board up the windows, they try and keep the generator running, and they survive off of snacks and things like that from various aisles. But this old religious lady starts yelling at people, saying that the monsters are basically, like, everyone's punishment for sinning. And her name is Miss Carbody, I think? Yeah. Absolute nut job. She begins like this whole cult inside the store, and eventually a group of people decide to leave because they're so threatened by her, and she thinks that they should throw out the heretics to the fucking stream in order to sacrifice them essentially and make the mist go away. Then this is the ending. In the book, I think what happens? What's the ending to the book? I need to look this up to make sure that I'm getting this right because I don't want to fuck it up. There we go. The ending in the book is that a few survivors leave in the main character's car and they shoot the old lady on the way out, basically dispelling her new cult. They then try and go to the guy's house, the main guy's house, to try and find his wife, but the road is blocked. So instead they turn around and they just try and drive, and they try and drive so far that they get out of the mist. Eventually, they stop for the night. They search through the radio and they hear like a emergency signal telling them about a location that they can get to that's potentially safe. Now, in the movie version of The Mist, totally different. They start driving, they keep driving, eventually they run out of gas and they're still in the mist and they hear monsters approaching. And so the dad pulls out a gun and is like, I'm sorry, I don't want to die to these things and we have no other choice. And he mercy kills everyone in the car, including his kid. And then he runs out of bullets for himself. He tries, he doesn't do it. So instead he sprints out into the mist, gets down, basically on his knees, crying outside the car, yelling at the monsters to come at him. And instead he hears the rumbling of a military vehicle that is collecting people and bringing them to safety after he already shot everyone, including his kid, which is so much better of a fucking ending for a horror novel that even Stephen King himself was like, this is so much better than what I came up with. What the fuck? So someone asked, what are we talking about? We're talking about The Mist, the movie. And also the book. We were also talking about The Dome, Under the Dome, which I remember has some pretty harrowing scenes. Yeah, here's the TV show, which I'm willing to bet, yeah, okay, it went from 2013 to 2015. Did it get good reviews? I'm willing to bet it didn't. Oh, it varies considerably from the book version and called the series very good, but it's got some differences. Some characters have been combined, some have changed jobs, some of the bigger stuff has changed. Gotcha. It seems like it was not as large of a change as The Long Walk to the movie, though. Brasidian says The Mist is great. I need to rewatch it. It's my favorite horror movie. Lucas Justin says, the first time I changed channels and saw The Mist, it was the last 5 minutes of the newer version of the movie. Never did bother trying to watch it all. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that's a rough movie to have spoiled for you. Oh my gosh, also, Try on Instagram says, also seeing the mom who left the store early in the movie alive on the military truck. Yeah, back when the mist first settled in and the store first closed all of its windows and boarded everything up, there was one family that left. Then everyone was like, don't fucking do it. It's dangerous out there. And she was like, I don't care. I'm making a run for my car. I'm taking my kids with me and I'm getting out of here. And she disappears into the mist and no one ever sees her or her family again. She had like 2 young kids with her. And everyone just assumed that she had died to the monsters until the very end of the movie where she was on the military vehicle that was coming to save people. So she made it out to safety and the fucking dude, David, has to live with watching her and her kids be safe while he just shot his kid. It's insane. It's a good movie, though. Deuce Cummington says, okay, you got my brain thinking about Stephen King and D&D. From there, I started thinking celebrity D&D game. What's your dream 5 to 6 player celebrity D&D table? Oh, God. I always get asked this question for podcast interviews and things like that. I genuinely don't have an answer because I don't know a lot about celebrities. I feel like I'd play with Matthew Lillard again because he was just fun to play with and he actually put in effort to make a character. And I feel like if I were to try and sit most like celebrities down at a D&D table, if they didn't already play D&D, it would probably be like pulling teeth to try and get them to play. Because D&D is not a very beginner-friendly game. So Matthew Lillard I feel like would be great because I know he already knows the game and I've played with him once before. Beyond that, everyone else I would fill the table are just friends of mine who are also content creators but are also really good at like being DMs and being players. So someone said Vin Diesel. I have no idea how he plays, is the thing. I don't really go for clout or like big names. I go for people who I enjoy, you know? And I enjoy a lot of my friends, if that makes sense. Biggie Cheese says, I think the funniest thing for M. Night Shyamalan to do for a movie is to have no twist, sort of like a Sopranos ending. I don't know anything about The Sopranos, but I've heard it's good. And Geronimo says, did you not see The Pacifier? Dude, that's a fucking name I haven't heard in years. Holy shit. This was like something I watched back in the fucking day. A 2005 American family action comedy film where a Navy SEAL is assigned as a babysitter to a dead man's family after a failed rescue mission. Oh, man. I've never seen... I don't recall anything about that movie. I was like a Daddy Daycare kid. Was it Daddy Daycare or Daddy Day Camp? Daddy Day Camp was the sequel. But that's what I watched as a kid. In my head, that and The Pacifier are the same thing. Forged Sledge says, I can help you with your jury summons dilemma. I think I've got it handled. I really, truly doubt I'll be called, knock on wood. But, let's see. Katie says you just got jury duty on Christmas. Yeah, I did. I mean, I doubt they'll actually do it on Christmas because I can't imagine the courts are open. It's a national holiday. There's no way. Also, Robert says I've had jury duty 3 times, but never got accepted. I wanted to be selected. If I get jury duty, I won't be able to do content for those weeks, is the only thing. I might not even be able to stream because my day job is kind of down to the wire on some stuff, and I would have to make sure that I have time to do that. So I might not be able to do content for the 2 weeks around Christmas, and I don't like that, and the algorithm sure as fuck won't like it. So, I don't know. And Geronimo says mine was on Christmas. I got out of it. Holy shit. There's no shot. Would they really? I don't think the Bend, Oregon Judicial Court would be open to being open on Christmas. There's no way, right? Like, no one would want to show up to that. Not even the fucking prosecution. Luke just says, don't cancel stream. I'm running out of shit posts. I'm sorry. I also won't have stream tomorrow because I'm going to be at the Game Awards. So I'm going to be in LA. I'm so sorry. I won't be able to stream. So get your grainy shit posts ready to go. Wingblade says, how's it even possible to have it on Christmas? That's what I thought. And it spans Christmas and New Year's. So I'm assuming New Year's Day I also won't have to deal with it. Which will be good, because I'll be hungover. Lucas says, okay, I guess I'll make one now for tomorrow. I know, I'm so sorry. Let's see. Oh my gosh, also Alan Starr says, what are you cooking on Christmas? Probably alcohol. I don't really have a family to cook for or anything like that, so I'm gonna sit at home alone and just vibe, to be honest. Kaylee says, I'm sending you positive vibes of not being called. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everyone send positive fucking ignore the judicial system of the United States vibes, please. I can't handle it anymore. My mom, when she became a citizen, she's a Mexican immigrant. And so when she became a citizen, she was so fucking excited to do, and I think this is a universal experience with immigrant parents who get citizenships, is they're so excited to do jury duty because they're the most patriotic motherfuckers on the planet, dude. Our parents, immigrant parents who finally made it and who finally got citizenships. The picture that my mom has, they give you a little American flag once you pass the test and get sworn in as a citizen and all that. And she was so happy waving her teeny little American flag around. It was the funniest fucking thing. I helped her study for that test. That was a crazy experience. That test makes no fucking sense, and I will stand by that to my dying days. And Geronimo said this in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Esteban was ecstatic to be on jury duty. Yeah, and Robert Table says Filipinos on jury duty are a force to be reckoned with. Dude, I've never properly gotten pulled for jury duty, but if I do, I hope it's something exciting. Because it has to last a minimum of 2 days. It may as well be worth it. I can't be a traffic citation or something like that. Let's see. Darth Whale says, my California jury duty was checking a website 5 times, 4 of which said check tomorrow, and 1 time said, you're good. I really wish they did that here. I think they might have switched to a newer system where I can check online, but as of right now, or the last time I did it in my county, I had to actually go into the courthouse and sit in their fucking disgusting basement for 2 hours. No windows, just old people surrounding me. My town has a lot of, the average age is like fucking 80. It's a lot of retirees that were doing their due diligence, you know? Because I'm sure everyone's sane. Everyone under the age of 30 deferred it. Alan Starr says, hell yeah, from Mexico. What state of Mexico is your family from? They're from Veracruz, specifically. Brasidian says, while in boot camp, I helped some of my buddies for the test. Oh, yeah. And Nonster says, getting called for jury duty, the most control you'll ever have over right and wrong. Dude, I'm about to be so fucking wrong. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Lukic says, okay, tomorrow's grainy no stream is complete. The dumb website is updated to run the cancellation script tomorrow. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, not hell yeah that we have to cancel stream, but still. And then Jayhawk said, I had to call in to find out about jury duty. Thankfully, mine was canceled beforehand, so I never had to go in for the sit and wait part. I must be crazy then, because that's what I had to do back when I was living, going to OSU. And they didn't make you come in, you just call. I did it while I was fucking walking between classes. It was just an automated voice that said, hey, you're fine. You're good. Go back to your class, little kid. And it was fine. Noster says, do you think YouTube stream will fire on Thursday? No, because I have to go to the Game Awards at like 2. I might end up not doing the YouTube streams anymore because that's the most canceled stream. And so, I don't know. And I'm not in any incentive. It doesn't do anything for the channel. Not yet. I think they need to upgrade their stream system on YouTube's end before I feel like it would be worth it. So, I don't know. Andronimus says Thirsty Thursdays are hard to miss. Hi, Mad Grizzly. Hello. And Aster says, we don't have jury duty where I'm from. Okay, I'm guessing not the states then. Also, Vaden says, wait, you went to OSU? I'm currently from Ohio. It's the other OSU. You know what the funny thing about going to OSU is the fact that OSU, Oregon State University, and Ohio State University have the exact same acronym, OSU. They also have the exact same fucking colors. It was the most confusing thing on the goddamn planet when OSU came to fight OSU at our football stadium. I was working there, and it was fucking awful. Crypt Aries says, I got called for jury duty while working seasonally 2 states away. They didn't want to believe my round-trip mileage when I entered it. No way! You actually drove? You actually fucking went? Holy shit. Also, Roly Poly says, what's the colors? It's orange and black, so it's Halloween vibes. Oh, Oklahoma State. Maybe that's it. What am I thinking of? That must be it. Was it Oklahoma State that we were against instead of Ohio? Oklahoma football. I don't know what their mascot was or anything. The Sooners? Yeah, no, it wasn't these guys. Was it? It was definitely orange. I mean, this looks more like the right color. Maybe they changed it recently? Oklahoma State University is different, but yes, they're orange. Androno says Sooners, more like the Laters. Haha. OSU is different from U of O. Yeah, so, oh my god, I don't know. But it was definitely, hold on, Ohio State football. Now these are the Buckeyes. Who the fuck were we fighting against that was also orange then? Listen, we gotta... I never thought I'd say this in my life. We gotta copyright more colors. We need to make more colors, and we need to slap some label on them that makes it so that football teams can't use the same goddamn color scheme. It had to be Oklahoma? Okay, that must be it then. Maybe. It was a lot of O's and a lot of U's and a lot of orange. That's all I got. Tarzan. Hello, hello. Daddy Tarzan says hello. Just a heads up, chat's on follower only mode. That is intentional. Yeah, so, because otherwise people are weird. 8-Bit Narco is also here, same with Tiny90. Eternal Spark, A1 Scorch, Gamer Prof Dad. Hello, thank you so much for the follows. Welcome in. And Monfredo says, oh, hey, catching you live for once. What's up? We're talking about just random nonsense, mostly football, but not in the football nerd way, in the person who doesn't know shit about football looking in from the outside way. Oklahoma State, not Oklahoma. What the fuck? I'm guessing university? Yeah, this is it. The other OSU. Also fucking orange and black. Hold on. You see this shit? Oh my god, and our website is so much more goddamn shitty. Of course it is. Fucking OSU can't do anything right. Ugh. Except their education. Their education's actually really good. But... like, this is... Corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two photos. This is the website of a college that actually does, you know, research and doesn't give a shit about football or aesthetics or the happiness of their fucking their people. James Covington says the other OSU. Great slogan. Exactly. Really, truly. A1 also wants me to hydrate. I can do that. And Ghostfire, hi! We were just talking about you. Holy shit, hello. Good to see you all. How have you been? Guys, everyone say hi to Ghostfire Official. The, I'm assuming, actual official Ghostfire gaming account. We were talking about y'all as always. Stays Hungry says, now that I have a lot of years removed, OSU over U of O, but I'm still a duck. Here's the thing, OSU is good because we actually know our shit. I was a tour guide at OSU. I specifically gave tours to people who were looking at OSU as a potential place to go to college, but not in the high school way, more in the underprivileged groups, underrepresented groups, trying to get them to realize that college, especially state universities and especially with funding, is an option for them. Basically trying to raise the education level amongst underrepresented teens and even, you know, kids down to as young as kindergarten. And they would come up to me and I would show them around all of the good parts of the school. So basically all the engineering shit. And I'd be like, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, what do you want to be? And they'd be like, I want to be a journalist. And I'd be like, get the fuck out of here then. Don't come here. If you want to do anything liberal arts, go to our competitor. I'm not paid to make, I don't get recruitment fees. If that's what's better for you, go over there. And I was like, but if you want to do like this subject, this subject, this subject, and this subject, OSU is great. If you want to do this, 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 and this instead, go to U of O. My job was to just get people into college. I didn't care if they were my school or someone else's school or the competitor. So that's, and I will fully admit that OSU does a lot of things worse than U of O, primarily sports, except for baseball. We're really good at baseball for some reason, and women's basketball. Yeah, I don't know. What was I talking about? Breathe Electric says OSU is where all the depressed engineers go. OSU is where the engineers go, and that's where all of these zoology kids scrounge afterwards, after their like club meetings and whatnot, for the free food that they leave behind in their meeting rooms. There's a whole Twitter account dedicated to that. I fucking loved it. Anyway, we should skedaddle. It's 6:33. I'm a little bit over. Thank you so much for hanging out, you guys. I have to send you guys over to a friend of mine. Because, let me see if I can find it, or if I have to manually, yeah, Arclight Court. There is an X-Men TTRPG that Arc runs that is currently in its finale, and I want to send you guys over there to take a look at, especially because I'm seeing Arc in my little, like, pop-up doing, like this motion, so something crazy must be happening. So I'm gonna send you guys over there. For those watching on TikTok, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I gotta say goodbye now, and I won't be able to raid in because that's not how TikTok works. But I love you all. I hope to see you on Twitch next time, which will be next week on Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching. And then for those who are on Instagram, I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys now. Hopefully I'll see you as well over on Twitch. If not, I'll see you guys on Monday. And then YouTube, I can't do anything about. The stream is just gonna end. For Twitch, hang tight, say hi to Paige, say hi to Ark, say hi to Keith, say hi to Aetherius, and say hi to Nova for me, because I'm gonna send you guys over that way. In the meantime, no stream tomorrow or Thursday, so I'll see you guys on Monday. Love you all. Bye-bye.